Okay, well, bro, I think we are live.
Beautiful.
Yes, if anybody is out there, if you could say that you can hear us and see us and all that good stuff,
Say, oh, yeah.
that would be great. Um, Although, Johan, you just turned gray. Hey, we got some people. Welcome, World of Lego, Max. Let's see. So, yeah, I think, Johan, hopefully they can hear you. If you guys can,
I'm
again,
still gray.
let us know. You kind of go in and out of the gray. Um, so,
Oh, I see it.
but that might just be the connection doing its thing. So maybe I'll try for
Yep.
turning down the latency. Welcome, everyone. Um, and I don't know what time it is where you all are at, but here it's bright and early in the morning. So I thought for the right vibe, I waited to pour my coffee until we were ready to roll. So you guys can all catch the vibe.
And here, on my side of the world, I'm in Bergen, Norway, and it's 4 p.m. So I'm on my fourth cup of tea today.
Fourth cup of tea. That's almost worth one cup of coffee.
That's right.
Oh gosh. How are you, Johan? How's life in Norway? For those of you who don't know, my brother moved to Bergen, Norway. Um, like, has it been a year? How long has it been?
It's been 10 months, so almost a year.
Okay, 10 months. Jeez, that is wild.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
so,
crazy thing.
it is. I miss you, bro.
Miss you too, man.
Um, so he's now a Viking. He was always a Viking, but now he's just in the land of Vikings.
Yes.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's good here. It's rainy today, which makes sense. Bergen is one of the rainiest cities in Europe. But life is good. Life is good.
That's great.
Staying super busy, dancing, working on family history, as you know.
Yes. Yeah, not working on the Hunger of Slag soundtrack, as I know.
Correct, correct. I think about it often.
Yeah,
If
that's
that counts for something, perhaps.
yes. Thinking about it is part of the process. The creative. You can't rush the creative process.
It is. Exactly, exactly.
All right. They're saying that you're a little quiet, Johan. So oh, actually, I think on Discord I can adjust your volume. So I might be able to do that.
Good.
Hi, chat. Oh, that's what I want. But now
I
you're
can also try to just speak louder. Also, hopefully that helps. But yeah, let me know if you're able to adjust it on your end.
speaking louder always is probably recommended. Hope that's shoutouts.
Yes.
Johan, where are you? Okay, I'm adjusting your screen size a little bit here. Um, he's glitching his camera. He keeps blinking in and out. Yeah, Johan, could you stop doing that?
Unfortunately, I don't think that's in my control.
Yeah, we're trying to use Discord here for the video, but we haven't done that before. But it seemed like a good face platform to use, so that's where we're at. Well, we'll see how it goes. As long as they can hear you, that's they know what you. Well, I don't know if they all
Yeah,
do know what
hopefully
you
the
look
voice
like.
is smooth.
Yes. Let me just take one more. Oh, there we go. Say something.
My name is Johan. I'm Christian's brother. How's that sound?
All right, everyone. I turned up the volume on him. Hopefully that turns up the volume for you. Nye does things. It's good to see you. And he's animating right now. Excellent. That's great to see.
Amazing.
So, let's see. I have an agenda here. The first thing I put on the agenda was welcome message. So I guess welcome everyone, uh, fans of the series, fans whether you're here now or you're watching it later. I might cut all that first stuff we did because it's probably not the most interesting. Um, but it is great to be present with, or just to be doing something live. We haven't done a live stream for a long time, um, and I kind of miss it. It's always fun times, and uh, I don't know. I know I'm not always the best about being in touch with the Twisted Bricks community, and I want to be better about that. And I'm also not so good about being in touch with you, Johan. So it's like two birds, one stone.
True. True. Yeah, we haven't talked in a long time, bro.
We haven't. And for those, we lived together for like 4 months, and they were the best 4 months of my life.
Yeah.
And
They were so good.
and now we are far apart, but it's okay. We're still collaborating. We're still brothers, doing our thing. So, Johan, I wanted to ask, Top Trooper, I'm in bed at 3 a.m. with church in the morning. Dang, 3 a.m. is intense. We appreciate your presence. I wanted to start by asking you, because I actually don't know, have you seen the Fall of Kynon entries?
I saw the first two, I think. How many were there again? Or that were posted anyways?
So there was like 8, I think there were like 10 entries total. But I only did what was it? I only did, the top 5 in the like first video. All right, I'm gonna try something. Johan, why don't we try to do FaceTime instead and see if that works better?
Sounds good. Because I think the problem is probably on your end with how it's transferring. Because I have a very strong internet connection where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, and maybe Facebook will use less like computer power, so to speak, and just more bandwidth, which I can afford. So
FaceTime through Facebook?
yes, let's try it.
Alright, disconnecting, bro.
Yep, bye-bye. Alright, everyone. For those of you who are hanging out, appreciate your patience. I'm calling him now on FaceTime. Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
Okay. Oh, you're nice and loud. So I'm gonna, in the OBS software, I'm gonna remove the Discord one. Actually, better idea. Google Chrome. Messenger call. Okay. You're there. I see you. The question
That's a good start.
is,
That's a good start.
okay, I see you on the stream too, so I see you. I'm seeing double vision.
Beautiful.
Hey, P Yate me. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't know if that is your name, but I think you might be one of our channel members. If you are, nice to be here. Okay, and Mo says he can see, bro. Finally.
I feel seen.
Good. So I thought I would play, and this is where it might get tricky on your end, Johan. I don't know how you want to do this. If you have the stream open, you can like.
I do.
Okay, great. So you can maybe mute the FaceTime and watch the stream for the moment, because I'm gonna play a video at a time. We'll watch it, just commentate on it, share our thoughts as it's going. I'll turn down the volume on it a little bit, and then we will just talk about it. And after every single entry we watch, I've got kind of a fun movie-related, Hunger of Slag-related update or thing to show you guys. So, JKR Stop Motion Studios, welcome. Aero Nomad, good to see you. It's an honor to have you in our stream. And 12 Productions Fun, good to see you. So the reason for the stream is really just to connect with the fan community. It's to show some really cool, exciting stuff we're working on. There is, despite, I sometimes have radio silence, but there's a lot going on in the Twisted Bricks world. So let's go ahead and start with the first Fall of Kynon entry, or first place rather, in commentating. You ready, bro?
I'm so ready.
Great. Here it comes.
Accessing restricted files. Access approved. Fall of Kynon archives.
All right. So this is an entry by G-Man Animations. And hopefully let me know if the volume is alright, guys. I have the volume turned down on the video, but this is the first time we've received a 3D animated entry. And it's just, I mean, it'd be one thing to receive an average like 3D animated entry, but this one is like top of the line, like near Lego movie quality. And the fact that he was able to get convincing looking like clay slag creatures in it as well is just unbelievable.
You know, higher education, like, just
Yeah, this was
didn't really
the.
shoot me. You know,
I saw this one, the one afterwards, and
At
it
least
was
it pays
really
something.
shocking. And I know
I'll
I'm
say,
seeing it on the
I'll
live
take
stream. I
it, you've
know
never seen
I'm
combat
seeing it
before?
much later than
No,
like
this
there's a
is
delay from when I'm
actually
seeing it.
my
Oh yeah.
But
assignment.
yeah, I
Sending
was
us a
super
kid with
impressed
no
with the clay
experience?
monsters.
What are
That
they
was
thinking?
wild.
It's unreal. And I've talked with G-Man Animations about potentially continuing with like, or making an actual like kind of Void War series in this style of animation, kind of partnering to
Yeah.
make that happen. Because I think something like this could be really, like, people could get really into it. And I mean, I'm biased, but it's the dialogue, which we are totally steamrolling right now, is actually very funny. The whole styling, the cinematography is amazing. Like G-Man Animations, I don't know if you're watching right now, but I'm curious if you like, I don't know, studied film school or studied film, or what your experience is with it.
Something's wrong.
But the sound effects are excellent, the angles. The voice acting is very funny too.
Yeah, I mean the scene where the big clay monster is chasing the car as it's driving.
Yeah. And then you got this thing with the big it's this derpy looking slag. And then he has even like the orange clay blood. I mean,
Gotcha.
everything about it is just spectacular. I got no notes.
I'm so curious about the technical aspect. Christian, I assume you have, I know you have a much better understanding than I do of like what's happening here, like what it takes to create something like this. But
Yeah, you know, I mean, you build the models, you import them, but there is a lot that goes into it, and he's clearly knows what he's doing. All right, so we got the second place entry here by Blue Orange Productions and classic stop motion, and it's we'll just watch a little.
just so you have a sense of the play that I'm working with, I'm just seeing the opening for the second one right now.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, so you're seeing what the audience is seeing in real time.
Exactly.
But I'm living in the future.
Car Stop Motion Studios love their small talk, bro.
Oh, that's great.
Let's go.
It's hard to hear Johan. Johan, you just gotta,
Should go.
I gotta project.
you have to scream, dude. Anyway, I want to say that this entry, we haven't, we're too busy with our small talk. I loved like everything about this entry as well. I mean, the vehicle, the set, the brightness could have been turned up a little bit, but it does work for kind. Feels like it's shot at dawn or something.
No.
But you've got these cool like slagic cocoons, and then this kind of alien thing where it bursts out of his chest, and this stuff with cyborgs. I mean, there's a lot of like good combat and good framing, good cinematography, and then some dark unaliving. I love the tank, and the character design I think is really strong in this one.
You know, you're like good fight now. competence than your teammates. Besides, they're all dead. No, we cannot rebuild the world without cloning it. But you're lucky. I will give you the choice to join or with this series. What did you?
It's a little hard to understand what he's saying there, but there's clearly some lore going on. And again, just really the stop motion itself, it's worth pointing out, is incredibly solid. Like, not a lot of camera shake, consistent lighting. I mean, and those details do matter when like deciding like who's the winner here. So great job to Blue Orange Animations. I hope to see more from you. So here we've got this breakout from Foot Soldier, and this is a funny one. It's kind of like a silent film. I mean, there's no real dialogue, but I think, in my opinion, it's really well done. The music works well with it, and it tells an interesting story that you don't really need the dialogue to understand.
Top Trooper Productions is dipping out. Good to see you too, though.
Good to see you, Top Trooper.
Well.
Yes, take care. I realized I was going to stop after each entry and do something, but we're just going to cruise through the first three.
Sounds good.
I thought this one was interesting. Yeah, you haven't seen this one, have you, Johan?
No, this is new to me.
Okay, it's interesting because it wasn't obvious to me the first time I watched it who the hero was going to be, like who the hero of the story is, but it becomes apparent. I always love seeing original kind of mutation ideas, and when it pierces through the skull just right across the table, I think that's a pretty neat scene. It's got a good like classic stop motion feel with brick built special effects and clay blood, so I'm always a fan of that.
Ooh, yeah, that head pierce is cool. I just got there.
I gotcha. For anybody who's just showing up, so we are watching the first three winners, top three prize winners of the Fall of Kynon contest, commentating on them, and then moving on to some cool updates and various things, so stay tuned. This is neat. They have this like slag vision. I don't know if you've gotten to that part yet, but where you're seeing through the slag's eyes and the skin of people appears blue. And that's pretty neat, and I think it's like a direct kind of reference to the Gray Horizons, where Iris uses her astral vision and can see kind of this blue kind of stuff. But all right, so there we go. I'm gonna stop us there. Although I guess Johan, you're still watching it on the stream.
I am.
What part are you at?
Spider clay monster thing attacking.
Oh.
There's an explosion.
Nice.
Okay, he's done for.
I love the main character 60s haircut, music fits in, JKR stop motion. Yeah, it is kind of an Elvis character. It reminds me actually, Johan, do you remember Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah, of course.
There's a scene where a new guy enters the prison, and he's really got that kind of Elvis pompadour, and like he's kind of like a Hollywood type dude. Do you remember that?
Vaguely. I think it was the 60th anniversary. Or no, not 60th That sounds crazy. But there was an Shawshank Redemption anniversary just like last week.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
How about that? All right. Well, I am going to first see if I can turn up. I wonder if I can adjust your volume device settings. I'll just check that quick. Microphone. Nope, doesn't look like it. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. But the next thing on the agenda. Okay. So I'm going to show you all the apostles that I have so far. So for those of you who have followed with the lore, and Johan, you maybe, I don't know what you've seen of these, but for those of you who have followed along with the lore, there is, oops, let me close this out. There are these guys called the apostles, and they are these powerful, huge, kind of immortal beings that serve Kyo. They were once human, but they have gone through a process. They were actually once channelers, incredibly powerful channelers who were each chosen at some point in time to go through this process to become an apostle. So I'll show you them in order of, well, I'll just show you them in an order that I choose arbitrarily. So this one is Umal.
I haven't seen any of them, I don't think.
Oh, this is going to be fun. So Umal, he was actually the last apostle to be created. He's the 7th apostle. And this was actually created by our own Asher Getz, Gray 101, aka Gray 101. And he reached out to me with some other stuff, but he also offered, he was like, hey, I have some apostle designs you might like. And he just like knocked it out of the park, especially with this one. I am going to change the head to be more copper. I'm going to change the color a little bit. For a while, I thought I might make all their heads gold. Like that could be a cool thing, kind of a crown chakra thing. But it's not gonna be like that. But anyway, just for funsies, his power is, or parts of his telepathic powers, he can turn invisible, invisibility. You know, he can just go invisible, and then he basically uses his giant fists to smash and tear apart Slag. So he just gets right in there and just like tears it to bits. And I mean,
He looks so cool, bro. Can you? Is it gonna be the same mask, but just the color's gonna be different?
Just a little different of the color.
Can you hold it closer to the camera? The mask, anyways.
Yes, it's kind of this like skull. It almost looks like a skull.
And is that from a set?
No. So I've tried to do it this way, where all the apostles, they have custom masks. So the masks are like
so cool.
Custom 3D designs, not designed for the movie, but they are designed kind of not by Lego, I guess I'll say.
Yeah,
but just for scale, like look at the size difference here. So,
bro.
You get a sense these guys are so freaking overpowered, and they're going to be defending the temple against these waves and waves of slag, alongside humanity. So they're pretty cool, and I'm excited to animate them. It's going to be a challenge, but it'll be fun.
I can't wait to write music with and of course there's a lot more inspiration now that I'll start seeing them, of course.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm excited, and I'll be like posting, kind of character bios at some point, and especially for you. But here's another one that's like actually not quite, again, none of them are completed, but this one isn't in the movie a lot, but is in at the end, and it's going to be Keratin, and it has a like giant rifle. I might revise it a little bit, and the mask is going to look something like that.
I like that.
But more kind of, I think I'm going to make it white or dark green. Maybe silver. Silver could be cool too, because it kind of goes from dark green to silver. But that's going to be Keratin. And it's, I don't know, kind of cool, bulkier design. So that's Keratin. And then I have Seabree. Now this one, again, the colors aren't quite there yet. It takes a lot. Oops. Seabree almost took a dip into my coffee. That was a close one. Yeah, they have their fragile points, but it's just a matter of knowing. So she's like more slender, really agile. She has like dual short swords, basically, slicing and dicing all over the place. I'm thinking about,
cool mask.
Yeah, it is. I'm thinking about giving her like a sort of like bionicle ponytail. I think that could be cool. and the mask will probably be painted yellow. And these white shoulder pads, it looks hideous right now, they'll probably be dark blue. So it'll be a lot more cohesive with the color. And you know, with all of these, I'm planning on giving them like glowing LEDs, lights for eyes. And I think that's going to look just freaking sweet.
Yeah.
So there you have, and I love the way that this was designed with the rock she heads for the kind of like leg pads there.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So that's Seabury.
And okay, those last two,
Yeah.
were those designed by you, or was there someone else who designed those?
Someone else designed them, and I'm trying to remember who designed the names of the designers for both of them, and I should have had that handy. But I can't remember those two. I might have to. They will certainly be credited in the film and in later works. But the last one is really cool, and I'm using a different mask than was originally attached with it. And I'm going to make some modifications. But this is the first apostle, the highest one in terms of rank, and that's Purian.
Ooh, bro.
And he's a big guy. I just love the design, and you can see it's a little uneven. I'm gonna give it 2 Rockshi shoulder pads and paint those gold. I'm gonna replace this with a gold one, and basically wherever there's white, what I want to do is replace that with gold. So he's just this like beautiful kind of shimmering golden
Wow.
apostle.
It's gonna be so cool to see those animated. I just can't even begin to imagine.
Yeah, I've never, you know, the last time I animated Bionicles, I was probably like 12 years old, so I've learned a few things. I'm gonna have to buy some kind of setup to hold them, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
should be a good time.
And the first one was Umal, right?
Yep, Umal.
And the last one, Purian?
Purian, yes. And they're kind of Purian, Umal, and Seabury, who was the thinner one. They're the ones who are going to be mainly defending Earth against defending the city of Vitorum, defending the temple. Karatan and then one other are going to show up at the end, and then there's going to be, I think that leaves 1 or 2 apostles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 2 apostles who don't even make an appearance in this movie, but you will see them in the last film.
Yeah.
So, good stuff.
Have you revealed the title of the last film?
No, I don't know. Maybe somewhere, but the last film, I can reveal it here. The last film is going to be called The Void War. Do you know it?
Isn't it The Last Apostle? Or
It is, yeah. The Void War, The Last Apostle. And it might not mean what you think it means. So, that'll be fun. And I think I have the third movie basically plotted out. I kind of revise it in my head now and then. I've written some stuff. It's going to get so wild, and I'm just going to have fun with it, so I cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing that I'm going to reveal is the Archangels. Now, a lot of people have seen them, but I have something new to show with them. And let's see, I might show 2 at a time because I have their heads and I have most of their hair pieces, so you can see their faces. And you just kind of see them in person. But for example, here you have Blaze. Gosh, it's like the reversed camera. So Blaze and gosh, what's his name? Ridley Crichton. He's kind of the explosives expert, and he's kind of he's something else. Like you might call him a shock trooper, sort of. So just incredible designs by a creator called Just My Game, and you can find him on Etsy. And actually, I've included a link in the description of this video. So anybody, if you like these designs, well, I'll plug him in at the end. But first, I'll show the Archangels.
Nice.
So this is Harley. She's the weapons specialist, and she doesn't have. I don't have her hairpiece yet, so I'm just keeping her helmet on her. But you can kind of get a sense of what she looks like. And then this is the sniper Zarati, Oren Zarati. And
so cool to see the faces I've seen with the masks.
Yeah.
Like human faces before.
Yeah, and all the voice acting for these has been completed, except for one of them. But I've started to put together the audio of the scenes, so animation is on the way.
Do you have a tentative date for when you'll start animating?
Yeah, I'll probably start animating next year around, I'm hoping still in the winter. But we're doing the crowdfunding, the Kickstarter. January 14th is when we'll be releasing that, along with a bunch of other stuff. And so hopefully we'll start animating either before, we could start animating something before that, but we do need funds to build the main sets. So we'll see what the timeline looks like, but certainly around January, February. Here's a couple more. So this is the heavy Ain Fuchs, and I'm trying to get the camera to focus in the kind of macro.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, he's got a big gun. I love his helmet. If you've seen my other stuff, you've seen his helmet. It looks like a Knight of the Round Table or something. And then this is the captain, Michael Hughes. And I'm not sure about that hairpiece. I thought it might look good, but I might swap it out.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the hairpiece personally.
I've also thought about, like, he could be bald. That might work.
I think it's definitely better.
Yeah. We'll experiment with that. And then the last one, who's like, this one I think just goes the hardest, is Blaze Krieg. And yes, he also might be bald, but then I'll have to like do something about that because he can't go walking around like Voldemort. But he's got these magnetic pincer arms on the back that can come out. He's got these like wrist blades. Just so cool. Again, if you guys are like impressed by these, send me your praise. No, they are all creations by Just My Game, and so Just My Game and I made contact last year. And he really was on board with this project. He thought it was very cool. He's a very, very passionate creator. And I just love his work. And I just wanted to show you some of his stuff. Because he makes custom Lego compatible accessories in all sorts of popular, sci-fi or popular themes. Like here, he's got like this incredible Berserk custom. For those of you who don't know, that's a manga character. He does a lot of manga, Halo video games, movie references, and they really just are on another level. Here you can see kind of a close-up. So he sells painted customs and unpainted that you can paint yourself if you're into that. And here's just some more of the unpainted ones. But you can the level of detail on these is crazy. He's got a lot of Warhammer 40K stuff, a lot of video game stuff. And I just can't recommend him enough. And he's got a good sense of humor too, with some of these. So if you're interested in checking that out, there's a link to his page in the description of this video. And fans of Twisted Bricks, you can use a discount code to get 10% off any order. And the discount code is Archangels10. And I feel like I wrote that down somewhere, but maybe I was gonna put, actually it's Archangel 10. So I'll put the discount code in the comments after this goes live, because of course you're gonna want that.
That's such a cool partnership though, and I'm so happy with how the Archangels turned out. Again, I can't wait to see them animated. And I've seen a bit that you've released those shorts or whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna be, it's just gonna be so fun to be animating with such high quality characters and such cool characters. I'm just so psyched for it. And again, I think this movie is just gonna be on a different level from the last ones. So I'm excited for that. Let me try something here. I think you're still going in and out a little bit, but we can accept that.
Yeah, I see I'm gray currently on the live stream. Or
yeah.
at least.
Oh, and there you're back. which apostle is Kyo's favorite? Nye asks. So, I don't know if Kyo. That's a funny question. I feel like Kyo is beyond favorites. Kyo is kind of, the way I see him, he's so far beyond being a normal human or being a normal entity as we would understand. It's almost like asking some kind of like advanced artificial intelligence if it has a favorite. You know, it's hard to know if it does. Like, what does that even mean? But it's a fun question. Purian, of course, was the first apostle, so he's kind of a big deal, and he's definitely, like, you could say the closest to Kyo, so maybe that's the best answer. Like those minifigs. Is that an Emperor minifig? Yeah, I don't know if it was it might have been. There's a lot of Warhammer minifigs. Alright, Arathians had nothing to do with the Fall of Kynon. So for those of you who don't know, Anmo created the idea of the Arathians, or Erothians, and it's going to be a fun bit of lore in the Void War universe. This whole race of people, well, not race of people, society, country, a nationality of people who really don't believe in Kyo. So they're the only ones, the only nation that survived the fall of Earth in 2107, but survived independently of Kyo's help. It's like a small island nation. So I'm excited to explore that more and give more info on that. And I'm thinking it might even play a role in the third film, but more on that later.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. All right, I do want to take a moment to give some shout outs to fans. Also, if anybody streaming right now has any questions they want to ask, any opinions they want to share, happy to discuss those, answer those. You know, now's a great time to interact with us as some of the faces and minds behind Twisted Bricks.
Yes, sir.
So, will the world be done after the third movie? So I'm thinking the world will, like, you know, it's funny because part of me wants to just continue expanding the Void War universe forever, and I realize, you know, that kind of, you might ask, like, should Marvel stop expanding or should Star Wars stop expanding? I don't know. All I know is that I want to, like, keep going with it and see how far I can take it. So I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. I want to continue expanding it with the comics, which are ongoing, with potentially.
And with the comics,
yeah,
I saw. Isn't there like just 2 more pages you need?
Yeah, and
like or finish with the first thing edition.
That's exactly right, dude. And 2 of them. So one of them is almost done, and then there's 1 more page, I think. And then there's the covers. I need to create like the cover art, or my artist Andre needs to create the cover art. And then I'm hoping to include those as a perk in the crowdfunding Kickstarter bundles, and you know, maybe you get a special alternative cover art with one of the tiers, you know, higher up. So we'll see.
So and those will be like physical, like you can get a physical.
Yes,
copy?
yeah. It's not. I plan on having them colored and printed and doing the whole thing. Oh, also, I'm planning on if anybody is following me on Instagram, you might have seen this on my story. But what I'd like to do is include a custom minifig with each comic, and this would be like a Hux as a student. So it would be a custom printed torso of a young Hux. So I think that will be fun.
And JKR is asking, where can we buy the comics when they are released?
That's a good question. Probably just on the Twisted Bricks website. All you need to do though is follow me on like YouTube and Instagram, and I'll definitely be announcing it. So stay tuned on that. So I do want to take a moment to just like thank some people and the supporters of this channel. We have both patrons and channel members, and some of them you can see in the channel members over here. There are many who have actually been channel members for 12 or more months. Some of them are coming up on the 20. No, I haven't had it out for 2 years yet, so there's no 24-month members, but each one has a different badge. So huge thank you to everybody on this list, especially as far as like patrons go. Gray 101, John P. and Sniker Piker, they're huge supporters, and I'm so grateful for their support, both financially and even like intellectually. Like they've helped kind of expand the universe. And same with Dr. Dylan, Iron Striker, Jack H. Biddle, Jack Raff, Lord Luce, and Nick Lombardo, who are in the Slag Slayers tier. That's very generous, and I appreciate your support so much. And as far as the channel members, huge appreciation for you guys. And you can see in the 12 months here, you guys have been along for the ride for a long time. Young Sun, Castle Rock 15, Cyber Leader First, Awesome Ninja 6788, Das Robin, and Keegan Tripp. I appreciate you more than you know. I just wanted to say thanks. All right. Gosh, well, I guess that pretty much fulfills the stuff that I had here, but I want to definitely give some time if anybody else has any questions, any thoughts. Oh, Sir Smoke, good to see you, man. Well, no, there hasn't been anyone in 24 months because I think I only opened the channel memberships up as an option 17 months ago. So I think some of those in the 12 months plus have been around for like 17 months, 16 months, but coming up on 24 months. Yeah, but if anybody else has any questions or thoughts, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, I can't wait to finally start working on the soundtrack. That'll be a lot of fun. My first goal is to write the Archangel's theme, the bass line for that.
Yeah.
There will be probably variations for each Archangel, but there will be an underlying Archangel theme. And then the Apostles, that will be very interesting. So I'll have to decide if I want to do a different theme for each Apostle, or it might be a similar thing where there's an Apostle theme and then there's just variations.
Yeah.
For each individual.
Yeah, that might be different flourishes for each one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what you come up with, and I'm probably going to do some kind of, once I have all the parts for all the characters, the Archangels, and all this stuff, I'll probably do some kind of like photo shoot of them, that like where I really present them in a pretty way. And of course they're also going to be presented in the crowdfunding video. It's going to be a stop motion video, very meta, kind of funny. I don't think I've told you much about it, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's cool. And Animator X Studios, yeah, will the Archangel's theme sound anything like the Avengers soundtrack? It'll be heavier because the Archangel's one, I actually have a melody in mind, and I mean it hopefully will be equal in the level of epicness, but the Avengers, the main theme anyways, is much more like hopeful and triumphant. The Archangel's one will be a little bit heavier and more militaristic, is what I have in mind.
Yeah. What did you say about the Apostles one, related to the versus the Archangels? And you might want to speak up a bit, if you can.
Yes. The Apostles one, I'm thinking that'll probably be more similar to Kyo's theme. A little bit more orchestral, while the Archangels is a little bit more, like I said, militaristic, heavy.
Yeah, I like it, and I can't wait to see how that sounds, and to explore that.
Definitely.
I can't wait to hear it. Will the movie still be paid? So, I guess I can probably reveal this. My plan had been to release Gray Horizons once The Hunger of Slag was finished, to make The Hunger of Slag available on Amazon, Patreon, and for YouTube members, but then make Gray Horizons free, to kind of like, you can watch Gray Horizons for free now, and then if you want to watch the sequel, you can pay to watch that. I'm probably going to actually release Gray Horizons. I hesitate to say this because it's no guarantee, but I'm really leaning towards just releasing the whole film when I release the crowdfunder / Kickstarter. Excuse me. I think that would be I think that'll be a good way to build up hype for the whole project. You know, people can watch the first movie in its entirety for free, and if it looks like a project they want to support, it might encourage them to support the Hunger of Slag. So I think that could be, I think I might do that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. At first, as you were saying it, I was thinking against it, just in the sense of like it would be good during the crowdfunding while you're hyping up to encourage people to like pay for the movie again, like watch the movie because it'll be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're right. If there's people who are willing to pay anyways, I mean, they can
Yeah.
watch the movie, and if they're able to, hopefully as a sign of appreciation, they'll donate to the crowdfunder as well.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that. And you know, I'm at a point where I just want people to see Gray Horizons. Like, I really appreciate people who are willing to pay for it to watch it. But you know, when you make something, you make it so that people will see it and experience it. And if putting it out there for free, like, brings in a lot of new viewers and brings in a lot of new fans of the Void War universe, to me that's a priority.
Definitely.
Yes. Let's see. JKR stop motion. Oh, Wingman, good to see you. Good to see you. Wingman is a long-time fan and supporter, and he does a lot of good stuff at the Discord. So good to see you here. JKR Stop Motion Studio says, when you please, I will watch all 4 hours. Yes.
When you release it.
Good catch. Good interpretation. All 4 hours TLZA plus Grey Hair. Great. Yeah, Johan, I can't remember.
Bro.
Yes?
Bro, I want to do that with you so bad. Have a marathon where we watch like all of season 1, all of season 2, Grey Horizons,
Hunger of Slag, The Last Apostle.
Yeah.
When we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
I'm with you. Maybe we just got to get together. Yeah, you got to come to the United States, or meet
Bro,
to
you
Norway.
come to Norway, bro.
That is an option. But yeah, didn't we start doing that? We like sat down one day and watched a bunch of it, like the first 2.
Yeah, I have a vague memory. Like the first 2 seasons or the first 2 episodes?
First 2 seasons. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is weird to go back and look and watch those old ones now. It just feels like a lifetime ago, and it wasn't that long ago. But like, the characters, like you feel this like nostalgia for them. They're fun to revisit.
Yeah, I do. Man, I honestly, now you got me in the mood. I just want to rewatch it now.
Yeah.
I think the first one I wrote a soundtrack for was the 3rd episode of season 1.
Yeah.
And that was in 2013, I want to say, which is, over 10 years ago, which is pretty crazy to think that I've been writing music for your universe for over a decade now.
No way. 2013. That can't be right, can it?
I'll double check.
No, dude, episode 3 didn't get released until I was like in college, which would have been like 2016.
You might be right.
Hold on. Pardon me.
2015.
Okay.
2015.
Okay, 2015. Yeah. Wild. Gosh. Well, Johan, anything interesting happening on your end? We'll probably wrap up this live stream. But if there's anything you want to share or talk about, while I have you captive. Thank you, JKR Stop Motion Studios.
For some reason, I think I'm freezing up on you.
Oh, yeah, you were just staring silently, so that must have been frozen. Did you say something?
No, I did not. I did not.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear what I asked?
No, I did not.
Oh,
hear that.
that's funny. I just asked if there's anything that you wanted to share or talk about or anything on your mind these days, and then you just sat there.
Yeah, so much, so much.
Oh God, it has to be appropriate for
Post-live
our
stream
fans.
thing.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Gotcha. We'll have an after party.
Yeah, we certainly will. But I can't wait to. I mean, we've been in this pre-production phase for so long, so I can't wait to finally get the gears rolling to see things being animated. I mean, it's so exciting to see the apostles, the archangels, the universe coming together. So it's becoming, with every day that passes by, it becomes a reality more and more.
Yeah, beautifully said, dude. I'm so with you, of course. You know, I've been swimming in this ocean of pre-production of like shot listing and model building and writing and recording and, you know, and after a while you start to get used to it, and then it's like, oh my God, like we're almost ready to animate, and that feels kind of weird. It's like it's like stepping up to the top of the hill and suddenly seeing the whole field. I mean, I remember in the last movie when I finally started animating, I was like, it's like this is it. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the weird thing about like animating just major projects like this. And you know, I try to animate like little stuff in between, but doing stuff in a segmented way is kind of it's interesting psychologically.
Yeah, definitely. And let's see, JKR was asking what I'm doing in Norway.
Yeah.
As you guys might know, Christian and I grew up speaking Norwegian, so we've lived in North Dakota in the U.S. Essentially our whole lives. But our parents both speak Norwegian. Our mom was born and raised in Norway. So the main reason I'm in Norway is because if and when I have kids, I want them to speak Norwegian too. So 2 years in Norway should solidify the language because I've lost some of it through the years. But I'm also working full-time as a family history researcher. So Americans hire me to research their Norwegian ancestry. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch. You know, you're an entrepreneur and a traveler, a world traveler. It's been cool to see you embark on that adventure.
Yes.
Great to see you legging Leland. It has been a hot minute. You just heard a little bit of Johan's life update, but life is treating me well as well. I'm of course still living in North Dakota, working as a substitute teacher, while I also do this stuff. So I got no complaints about that. How's life been treating you, my friend? Brick Horizon Films, great to see you. Welcome, welcome. Gosh, again, I encourage you all to ask questions so we don't have to think of things to talk about. But I'm trying to think if there's any other updates or things like Twisted Brick stuff that's worth mentioning. Otherwise, it might be about time to wrap up this live stream. Having Mr. Twisted as a sub would be crazy. That's hilarious. It's really, you know, I have students who see me in the halls and they're like, "Hey, Twisted Bricks!" Like they know
Really?
know about. Oh yeah,
Oh, that's so good.
a lot of them. And then I'll randomly have like students be like, "Did you make a Lego movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What's your YouTube name?" And then they see 100,000 subscribers. You're famous. And it's a very silly, funny thing. But I've had some very sweet interactions too. I had one kid who took a selfie, or one student who took a selfie with me because he couldn't believe that I was the creator of these videos that he had watched like back in the day. So
Yeah,
it's
and
very sweet.
I remember, you know, I worked as a U.S. history teacher back in the States while I was in the U.S. And I remember one of my students, when he found out that Twisted Bricks was my brother, he was like, he asked me to take a picture of him with one of his Legos, and he was like, show this to Mr. Twisted.
Yeah.
And he was so thrilled.
Yeah, it's just the sweetest thing. Amazing to experience that kind of thing.
Yeah. And thank you, Legging Leland. I love writing the music, and it's been a fun journey. And hopefully, for this next movie, hopefully it's the best stuff yet. We shall see.
Yes, I have that's the nature of evolution. You know,
That's true.
we strive for better and better. And you're still playing music for like church and stuff, right? In Norway, or are
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I I often play piano for a church called Mariakirken. It's the oldest building in all of Bergen. So I play music in a church that was built in the 1100s. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah.
But great to hear that you're keeping the musical skills sharp.
You know it.
Let's see. Oh, Lagging Leland, been some of the best and worst. It's gonna get better soon. I like your attitude. You know, it always it just takes persistence and resilience, and there's always I don't know. You just got to stick to it, I guess. That I felt like I had something more inspirational to say, but really that's all I got. Sometimes things are hard, but that's okay. You just have to be harder.
Exactly.
All right. What shots been some? Oh yeah, what shots are you looking forward to? That's a fun question. What shots are you looking forward to? So, I'm really excited to animate the city scenes where the apostles, you know, for those of you who just got here, where these guys are like slaying slag. I mean, this guy Purian, he basically wields a golden greatsword, and then one of them just uses his fists, and the other uses like dual short swords. So animating, I think it's going to be one of the hardest things I've ever done. But animating these giants like fighting slag side by side.
Show the minifig again just for scale.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's it.
So like to give you a sense of the scale.
It's just gonna be wild, bro.
Yeah, and you're gonna have like, you know, these legions of Unum Vires and of various battalions of Unum Vires soldiers fighting slag alongside these guys. There's gonna be like artillery. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. So I'm excited about that. I am also excited about animating the stuff with Kyo. And I don't even know. In some ways, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But I mean, like Kyo is like the size of basically 4 of these. So it just sometimes I make plans and I'm just like I'll figure it out when I get there.
Wingman Productions, he's absolutely right. The second to last thing he said, when you release the full movie,
yeah,
you should do a huge live stream. I mean, that's obvious, but we haven't actually said that. So
no, it wasn't. I didn't even think of it. That's brilliant. Like promote the live stream and then we'll watch the full film together. That would be so fun.
that'd be so fun.
Because then we could also like watch it. I mean, yeah, that just sounds like a brilliant idea. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I should probably get going here.
All right.
But it's been great. We will have to do this again sometime soon.
Definitely, and we'll catch up more later. But I'll stay here and wrap up some of these questions. But thank you for being here, Johan. It's always great to see you.
Sounds good. Love you, bro.
Love you, bro. Take care.
Adios.
Adios. All right, I'll just make my screen a little bit bigger here. You guys can see me in full detail. Okay, I'll answer some questions and then we'll wrap this up. Again, so grateful for you guys for being here. Let's see, just to go back a little bit. Can we see the mega cannon that is on the table behind you? Yeah, hold on one second. I think this is what you were referring to. So this is the piercer, which you guys all recognize from the movie. It's one of the few set pieces that I have kept intact all this time, and I will probably keep it intact permanently, just because it's an amazing, I don't know, it's really cool for me to have something from the first film just kind of permanently. So again, there you have it. And I used to have like a machine gunner right here, but you didn't really see that much in the movie. But there are going to be some pretty crazy models in the next film, in The Hunger of Slag, especially the Ultra Afflictor. You know, the Afflictors, it's like that, but just freaking huge. So that's going to be kind of nuts. And I'm looking forward to, it's going to be expensive too, but that's the nature of these things. Okay, how goes it with the custom parts? Have you made any new stuff? Jeez, I totally forgot to show that. I can't believe it. I'll pull it up right now because it's actually pretty cool. But while I'm doing that, I'll read some more questions. Okay, full movie for... Oh, Nye does things, says, what do you mean the size of 4 apostles? So Kyo is just yeah, he's just gigantic. He basically, like, I mean, he just towers over everything, and at this time in the year 3044, nobody really sees Kyo. Kyo doesn't really leave the temple. He doesn't really speak, but he's always, like, doing stuff psychically. It's kind of a weird situation, kind of mysterious, but he will make an appearance in The Hunger of Slag, and it's going to be insane. And I want to say more about it, but you're just going to have to wait. Will you make some alternate history Cold War movie? Cool idea. Probably don't have the time to do that. Let's see, got a dip. All right, have a good one, Nye Does Things. Ian, also known as. Have fun with the D&D session. Yeah, close one indeed. Foolish Jordan, I went to the movie premiere. It was awesome. Oh, this is cool. Welcome to the live stream, Jordan. It's super cool to have somebody here who's actually at the movie premiere. I assume you were at the one in the Fargo Theater here in Fargo, North Dakota. It was such a cool event. Yo, Wingy, I'm good, literally. What's explaining the religion of Kyo? Is it based? Okay, so Leland is asking about Kyonism, the religion. Basically, you know, after the fall, after Slag pretty much destroyed, you know, most of the population of Earth, Kyo kind of was the one. He was this entity who appeared and actually led humanity against Slag and, like, reclaimed the Earth, essentially, one country, one city at a time, over hundreds of years. And he was immensely powerful, and he was friendly to humans, and people just gravitated around him, and he seemed to be able to, like, communicate telepathically. And basically this eventually transformed into a religion where he was a god on Earth saving humanity, like, visibly in front of them every day. And so it's going to be interesting to kind of tease how that all unfolded and who Kyo really is. And, you know, there are people who think he's a false god. There are people who's like, he's not really a god, he's just a really strong being. And there's, you know, there's a lot to go over here, actually, but I won't go into the details right now. Matt Poppy, great to see you in the stream, everyone. Matt Poppy got to meet the director. Yeah, meet me a long time ago. Poppy, of course, many of you probably know, but he is the voice of Slade and the voice of the wizard Corrin, and of course many other Twisted Bricks characters over the years. So it's lovely to have you here, Matt. JKR Stop Motion Studios, it's so great to hear that. It's so amazing to hear when people have been inspired by this series. I never tire of hearing stories of that. It means a lot to me. Okay, I'm going to answer more questions in a second, but I do want to show these customs. So let me just share my screen with the Blender here. Got to add a new one. Window. Okay. Blender. Okay. Oops, that's not what we want. You know, I'm no professional at using the OBS software. Okay, we're just gonna try that again. Window capture. If only there was a way to somehow just automatically remove all the mishaps. There we go. Okay, so again, these are really rough drafts. They're not the final product by any means, but it'll give you a sense of what we're trying to work on. So really, you know, a big part of what we want to do is release customs that you can use with minifigs. So here, for example, this would be a stage 1 mutation, you know, kind of morphed, messed up minifig head that you could attach a Lego stud to, or maybe we would attach one for it and just like permanently fix it to it. That's to be determined. Here you've got like a stage 2 mutation. The head here could be a translucent orange head. It would give it more of a mutated look, I think, and would be pretty cool. Getting the dimensions precisely right for this and printing is going to be a whole thing. This is, these you could attach studs to. I haven't attached them here. And honestly, it's a really simplistic design for a popper. I probably will try to make it a lot more interesting, add some detail to it, but it's the beginning of a design. And I do also want to custom print some Unum Vira's like battle armor. I have these guns that I've designed. It might be too detailed. I don't know. Maybe that's not a problem. But those would be fun to show. So that's some of the stuff that we want to, that we're aspiring to release. So I have a 3D printer. I just need to get some other stuff for it because it's a whole thing. All right. Great. Matt's probably gone by now, but no more swears, Christian. I'll try. What do you think of doing to promote the film in the TLZA universe? Oh, it's a whole thing. I'm not going to go into all that right now, but definitely a lot of use of social media. If presented with the chance, would you work with Wizards of the Coast to make a TLZA Void War run of Magic the Gathering cards? What cards would you want to be looking to see from that? That would be super cool. I hadn't even thought about Magic the Gathering. I've actually talked to one of my patrons and a guy who we exchange a lot of ideas, John. Oh, sorry, you guys can't even see me. There we go. About making a Void War card game that would involve like kind of a trading card setup, but also like working through the Impervious, kind of like playing through the plot of Grey Horizons. So stay tuned on that. There are so many Twisted Bricks things going on right now, that I'm trying to make happen. Maybe too many projects, but we will see. Okay. YouTube video. All right. Card game would be awesome. How did you get the Void War on Amazon? So it wasn't actually that difficult. You know, you got to meet the requirements. You know, certain file sizes, certain like art, thumbnails and stuff like that. You have to submit it, apply, and I did all that, and they put it on. I mean, it's really that simple. Maybe I make it sound easier than it is. I mean, you have to have a movie, so that's the first thing. But if you meet all their requirements, you know, they'll review it, and then they'll either put it on or reject it, and they accepted it. So that was pretty cool. Custom bits, homebrew slags. Since the first film focused on Hux and his backstory, will the next film shift its focus to another character like Slade or Iris? So Hux is still kind of the focus. There is a lot with Slade and Iris. You know, they really, those three are the main characters, but there's also a lot of interaction with the Archangels. The Archangels play a really big role in this, and kind of Hux's relationship to the Archangels. I will say there are some pretty freaking major developments that happen with Slade in this film, and I'll say I feel like in the third movie is where we're really going to see Iris's transformation into something unbelievable. So I'm excited to get to that. What is the biggest source of inspiration for the Void War trilogy? I think I have to say Warhammer 40,000. I think that has left a lasting impression on so much of what I do with the Void War. The whole Space Marines, the whole thing with the God Emperor of Mankind, the Chaos Demons, and the Orcs. It all really left an impression in my mind. And sometimes I worry that I put too much of that into the Void War. But I tried to keep it original too and tell my own story. Are you going to sell any of those Archangels? So eventually we're going to actually sell some of them as part of the crowdfunding Kickstarter campaign. So stay tuned for that. There'll be more about that in the near future. But I hope to sell them as well, or not me sell them, but they could be sold by Just My Game Studios. He had to fix something with the 3D files, but those, again, Just My Game, he is an incredible creator, and I've linked his store in the description of this video. It does a lot of incredible Lego Lego compatible models that you can buy. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff, really. So I can't recommend his store enough. And again, if you use the code Archangel10, you can get 10% off an order from his store. So you should check that out. Explode and Apple, welcome to the stream. If you've seen the Lego Zombie Apocalypse videos, I'm curious if you've seen the latest movie, Great Horizons, because it's a bit of a step up, and we're working on the sequel for that. William Ayers Reacts, welcome to the stream. Been a long-time fan since days in high school, especially during the pandemic. We really appreciate you stopping by. Feet pics when? Wingman, yeah, you're going to have to wait a long time for those. Alright guys, well we've been here for over an hour, so I'm so grateful to all of you who have been here, stayed along, or showed up later. It's been a lot of fun, but we got to wrap it up. I got a big day ahead of me, and it's time to call it. So I'll stop the stream now, but so great to see you all. Appreciate you all so much. Always nice to connect with the community. So take care, gang.